Hi, Helix History class. This is Jackie, your librarian of Blue Mountain. And I know I was just there this morning, but after talking to a few of you about your questions, I wanted to point out a little bit more detail on how to dig into a couple of resources. So this particular video is going to walk you through going through the New York Times. I have to give you a caveat about the New York Times. I actually have a subscription. So some of the resources I'm going to show you are somewhat limited to those who have a subscription, but if you see an article that you want, let me know and I can access it for you and send it to you. So anyway, when you're searching the New York Times, you can actually go to the New York Times directly and search, doing a standard search, and then you'll see what they also have is this kind of cool feature called a Times machine that allows you to look at all the articles as they actually appeared back to the start of the New York Times back in the 1800s. So I'm just going to click search here. And as an example, I'll do two. As an example, somebody in your class is working on a Dr. Singe Thind, and let me go ahead and type that in. Right here, my phone ringing, sorry. So I want to point out a couple things. One is that actually, this is the article your classmate was looking for from February 20th, 1923. If we click here, it'll bring up a brief summary of the article, but actually it'll give me the option to view in the Times machine. And let me show you what that looks like. And what's cool here, let me move over a little bit, is you see the article. Again, it gives you the summary, some of the headings. You can continue reading in PDF, or at least I can. But you might know just from the summary that this is something that you wanted. There's a couple things you can do when you're here, which is expand it out so you can really actually read the article. So it's really handy. And one thing with the feature of searching the archive, let me swing back over here, is you can do certain things, like you can limit by date. If you know that the information that you want is really surrounding a very specific time period, you can certainly do that. If we wanted to look at all the articles, say on, say the same person, I'm just going to type in Singe Thind again. I'm going to change the dates though, and I'm going to focus on, just all of, say in this case 1922, just a year prior to, let's go ahead and do 12/31. Let's go to 26. Let's just give it a few years to see what people are saying. And click OK, and then search. Okay, well actually only two articles came up, so this first one, but this one, something came up in 1926. That's interesting. So somewhere Singe Thind, our original person, is talked about in this article. So something's still happening 3 years from now about this. And we can see, oh, there's this whole article. Since we only get, you would only be getting the abstract part, but you might say, I really actually want this whole article. What you would do is you would email me. It's just jray@bluecc.edu, JRAY at bluecc.edu, and I could send you this article. So it's pretty straightforward. Going back to, one thing that we could do from here too is, type in whatever our search is that we wanted to look at. I'm actually going to go back to the home page because I want to show something else as another example from the beginning. And so from here, we'll go to search again. And so, for example, I'll type in the beach bill. Pretty much only existed in Oregon, so we don't have to do much more. So there's, of course, a lot of information. The word beach bill is kind of broad, so it's shown up in each of these places. So in this case, you might want to limit to, you might want to add the name and the call. If you want to limit to Oregon, maybe in this case we should add Oregon. See what happens. And we can see, certainly a more narrow time frame here, which is kind of interesting. The other thing that we could have done is we could limit to specific dates. So if we really wanted to limit to, I really want to know what's happening right around certain enactments of the law, whether it's the one in 1913, the 1960s, we could certainly limit that way as well. if we really want to look at Tom McCall's role, we could certainly do that as well. So it's really being flexible in your search here. McCall's kind of a common name, so that's where I'm kind of surprised it's coming up so much here, but this is where we might want to go back and add Oregon or add our time frame to make sure we're really focusing on, you know, what's happening. Let me go ahead and add the time frame actually. I'm going to make this really broad. I'm going to go all the way to 1965 to 1970. That didn't bring any results. No, is my time period wrong? My time period wrong was the Beachville, actually. You'll know your history. I'm going to broaden the search then, see what comes up. Okay, so obviously I had my time a little bit off because now we've gotten some results that might be useful. So anyway, in a nutshell, that's really some way you would look at this particular issue. So just something to think about. The Times machine is really cool. Again, you can always look at the original Times machine, see the article, and let me know if you'd like one. So anyway, that's kind of a quick couple-minute tutorial on how to use the New York Times.